The best piece of advice I have for someone trying to succeed in the film industry or any creative space is if you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're doing it wrong.
One of the best to ever do it.
What is freedom? I think I stole this from Bob Dylan, but maybe I stole this from Woody Guthrie. Freedom for me is waking up in the morning and going to sleep at night, and in between doing exactly what I want to do. What's the secret to happiness? The secret to happiness is finding something you love and then doing that for the rest of your life.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Site Review Tuesday. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Success, and I want to say thank you for joining me. Now, here in a minute, we're going to get to reviewing one of your websites, and I do want to point out that while this has been pre-recorded, I'm hanging out in the chat, interacting with you guys live and answering your questions. Now, if you're interested in having your website reviewed, there's a link in the description below this video where you can submit your site. And in addition to getting a site review, I also offer a one-on-one session to each photographer who has had a site review done to help them answer any questions or assist in making any changes that they may want to make. Now, don't forget, we also live stream every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, so I hope to see you there. Let's get into the site review. All right, so here we are on errorimages.com, and we're going to go ahead and start the review here on the homepage. So just getting started here, you've got a single image here just showing it's not a slideshow, this is actually a pretty cool image, but I would like to see some slideshow images here, at least a few, just to get an idea of what your website is about, what type of work you do, just so I can know if I want to go further or not. Now, also over here on the left, you've got a lot of space that's really being underutilized. So you don't have a custom logo right here, which is really what I'd like to see, a custom logo, something that's tying into your branding, and then some information about who you are, what you do, where you shoot, where you work out of. So there's a lot of space over here that you have to show that information. And for me, I think the biggest thing too is getting that custom logo uploaded in here as well. Now I see you do have your social media icons down here, which is nice. And you don't have a bunch of extra stuff like your header showing and all that stuff. So that's nice. I just would like to see this page just spiced up a little bit with maybe a couple more images and some more information over here, including your custom logo as well as your location information. All right, but let's keep moving on. Let's go check out that portfolio. So we're going to click on portfolio, and I'm getting hit with a visitor sign-in. Now, visitor sign-in allows you to collect the people's information that's interested in seeing your work, but the first button that I click, not knowing anything about the type of photography you do, not knowing the location, I'm going to be quite honest, as a visitor, personally, right here, you probably lose me because I have no idea where you're at, what you do. I've only seen one single image, and now you want me to give you my name and my email. I'm probably gone, to be quite honest. If you missed last week's, not last week, it's not going to be last week by the time you see this, I did a Zenfolio live on creating a custom portfolio and using visitor sign-in. Go check that live stream out. And that's going to kind of show you how to set up your portfolio to where it lets people view your work. But then if they want to see more, then you get that email and name and email. So go check that out. It's called How to Create a Custom Portfolio and Utilize Visitor Sign-In. But let's go ahead and just check out your portfolio. So I'm going to put my info in here really quick, if I can spell it right. And then let's go check out your portfolio. But what do you guys think in chat? Do you guys have visitor sign-in set up on your portfolio? Visitor sign-in is definitely a cool tool to use. You just want to make sure that you're not asking for people's information too early before you've given them anything to go off of. All right, so here we are on your portfolio, and this is a group page. And so here's a group page, and it looks like we have LB and sunsets, outdoors, portraits, clients, and the fun run. So as a visitor, after giving you my information, this portfolio is a little bit confusing. So what I would suggest is having a portfolio that's a drop down. So for one, it saves me some clicks. Don't make me give you that information and then drop me on a page like this where then I have to click more stuff to go to. So having a drop down here that leads directly to maybe a custom portfolio where then I can go view more and give you my information if I want. But landing on this page after giving my information is a little confusing as well. So let's just check out your galleries here. And again, right, I still have no idea where you're at, what exactly type of work that you specialize in. And I'm seeing crazy family and sunsets. So let's just see here. So is this an actual portfolio of a shoot that you've done? A beautiful sunset, beautiful photos. But is this an actual portfolio? Like, is this the portfolio that finally when I'm able to see your stuff, is this the first one that you want me clicking on, seeing your sunset photos? Is this a service that you're trying to sell me on? Something to think about, right, is to be strategic with how you set this stuff up. You want to get people to where you want them to be, and so create a path for that to happen. Don't just set your website up really quickly and then hopefully people kind of stumble around and land on what you want them to. Like, I should be able to get directly to where you want me to go to see the type of work that you do that I would possibly want to hire you for, and be able to know if I can hire you, because right now I still have no idea what location you're in, what area you're servicing, and really I mean I see that you take beautiful sunset photos, but and some run stuff, but other than that I'm not seeing a lot. So let's just keep looking here. All right, the other thing too is, if this is a portfolio gallery here, which it looks like you have this set up to sell, so it looks like maybe some of these are kind of your fine art, landscape type of stuff that you want to sell. That stuff needs to be separate from your portfolio. That needs to be on like a galleries for sale or buy my work or something like that, and not really in your portfolio, so that it's clear this is where I want you to go to see examples of my work. This is where I would like for you to go if you're looking for artwork to purchase. But let's just take a look here. So you got some beautiful photos in here, some nice outdoor stuff, some beautiful beach scenes, some really cool stuff. This door photo is actually really, really cool. I think it's really awesome. So your work is great. I think it's awesome. Just not seeing a lot of information. And then two, I still have no idea where you're at. You have a lot of information down here as far as all of your site menu items, but I don't see any categories and keywords, and your titles are not showing on your images. So this portfolio galleries is not set up very well as far as for SEO and is to bring traffic in, which is another thing that your portfolio galleries should be designed to do. So really, portfolio galleries have two purposes. One, they're to show site visitors and to hook them into, saying, yes, this person is a good photographer, you should hire them. But two, portfolio galleries are public, so they need to also be set up to draw traffic to your website, which means that you need to have your title showing, you need to have your photos keyworded and categorized, and have that stuff showing so that's down here so that search engines can index it, and that'll help increase the traffic to your website. So those are some things that I'm seeing there. Let's go back to portfolio again. Let's go to portraits. All right, and so it looks like maybe this is finally kind of like a true portfolio gallery where I can see some portfolio of your portrait shots that you've done here. Now, again, this is a portfolio gallery. It looks like you have a price list on it. Does somebody really want to come in here and buy portraits of other people's family? I would probably turn this off. If you want to have these images for sale in the client galleries, that's perfectly fine. But on a portfolio gallery, I would opt to have a lot of this stuff turned off and have it really just cleaned up for viewing. For instance, does the visitor really need to be able to favorite this? Is that something that you want them to hover over and be like, oh, what does this heart do? And then they get into this whole stuff right here. Well, I need to create an account. What's that? So we want to keep people from going down rabbit holes, and we want them to stay focused on what we want them to focus on. And this is a portfolio gallery. So really it's you showing that you're qualified, the type of work that you produce, and getting them interested in hiring you to photograph their family or whatever type of services you offer. All right. And so right now, this looks like it's a lot of the same family, and there are lots of images in here. And so this, to me, looks more like it was a client gallery that got thrown into your portfolio. So what your portfolio should be for your portraits should be your absolute best 10 to 15 portrait images, hopefully coming from a mix of different shoots to show off your work style and your capability. This looks more to me like a client gallery that just kind of got thrown in here. So you need to be very intentional with your portfolio, because this is your chance to say, this is what I've done, this is my quality of work, keep me focused on it and get me interested in hiring you as a photographer. And to me, like I said, these photos are beautiful, but this looks like it was a client gallery that was just thrown into the portfolio. And so I would suggest being a little bit more intentional on how you set this stuff up. So thinking about what you're putting in your portfolio. When I land here, if this is the path that you want me to take, when I land here, what is the first thing that you want me to see? What is the first thing that you want me to see that grabs my attention? That's what needs to be in here. If you have 10 seconds to convince me to hire you as a photographer, what are you going to show me? That is what your portfolio should be. So when you go in and start creating that, think about that. If you have 10 seconds to show somebody photos to convince them to hire you as a photographer, what are those photos that you're going to show them if you have that 10 seconds? And use that philosophy to create that portfolio. And then again, making sure that you're titling things, you're categorizing them, you're keywording them, and that you have that stuff set up to show in these galleries. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one down here. Again, this looks like a client gallery that was added to your portfolio. So again, I'm seeing lots of different galleries in here. So this looks like it was definitely, yeah, I think it was. So let's go back. So it says clients right on it. Okay, so this is a clients gallery. I would definitely take this out of portfolio. You've got a client menu item here. I'm not sure where that goes. But again, this is a little confusing of a setup. So again, you just need to be really intentional with how you set things up. Remember, there are two different types of people that are going to come to your website. Well, three. There are your existing clients, and you need to make a clear path and design a clear path for them on how to get to their galleries and where they need to go. There are visitors, people who have found you in search, or people that maybe you've given your business cards to, and you need to design a clear path for those types of people to follow. And then there are people who just stumbled across your website that may or may not be interested. But either way, you need to have clear pathways for those people to follow to get to the information that you want them to get to in the least amount of steps and as quick as possible. That is how you make an effective website, getting people to what they need to see as fast as possible. All right. And so the client galleries, again, in here in this portfolio is definitely a little confusing, because as a potential client, as a visitor, I'm wondering like, okay, these are his clients. Should I even be seeing these photos? Are my photos going to show up in here if I hire this photographer? How does all this work? Where does this photographer work? Because right now I still have no idea where you work at. I'm seeing a lot of photos in here. So there's a lot of nice, beautiful photos in here. You've got great work. You just need to get that portfolio set up a little bit more intentional. So getting some of this newer stuff in there and mixing it in so that when I look at your portraits gallery, it's not a gallery of all the same family that looks like a client gallery. It needs to be some mixed images in here. All right. And again, I would probably have this on in a client section and not in my portfolio section. All right, let's take a look at this last one right here, and we'll just make sure. So again, this looks like another job, and it's fine if you, so what I would do, right, is so far what I've seen that you photograph landscapes and you photograph events and you do portraits. So that's the three different portfolio galleries that I would have either in a drop down, preferably in a drop down or in that group. But again, you want to take your 10 to 15 best images out of each one of those categories that you photograph and put them in there, because that is your 10 to 15 seconds to convince somebody that you are a photographer that they should hire. All right, and this looks like it's an event gallery. So again, this should probably be under clients. But let's just take a look and see here. So far, though, your galleries look like they're set up pretty consistent. I'm not seeing any color changes or anything like that. The other thing too, while I'm here talking about this, is also we're now viewing your header, and I notice up here that you don't have a custom logo here either. So definitely something to think about. Really make sure that you start creating some branding and start thinking about that and putting those elements on your website, on your homepage, on your header up here. And then I forgot to mention it earlier, but you do have the search bar showing. Are you optimizing your images for search? Is this something that you want people to use? If it's not something that you are intentionally setting up for people to use and you're just like, I guess it'd be nice to have it up there, go ahead and take it off. We want to control what people can do on the website and be very intentional about it. And so if this is just something that you kind of left on, like, I guess it would be helpful for them to have, take it off unless you're setting up and designing things for that. The other thing too is if you're going to leave it on, you have this little option right here where it lets people search all of Zenfolio or just your site. If you're going to leave the search on, make sure that you go turn this option off so that they don't see that and they're only searching your website. That's under site settings, and I believe it's under general. So go check that out and turn that option off. All right, let's get to your about page really quick. So your about page looks like a photo of your kids. Great photo of your kids. But are your kids going to be the ones that I'm hiring to photograph me? I want to see a photo of you so that when I show up on the shoot, or when we meet up in the parking lot, or when we sit down for our, we meet up at Starbucks for our consultation, I know who I'm looking for and I kind of get a sense of you. I'm going to always tell you guys too that about videos are really going to do wonders for you. They're going to let people connect to you, because after I've decided your work is good, I want to know, like, are you somebody I could get along with? Is this somebody that I really want to work with? And an about video is the best way to let that come across, to let your personality come across. So it looks like we've got some information here. Let's see if I can figure out where you are. So I live on the border of Los Angeles and the Orange counties. So second site menu in after viewing a bunch of portfolios, and at the end of the first paragraph, and to be quite honest, Ryan, I'm not a reader, so I probably would not have even read this if I wasn't doing this site review. I don't read lots of big blocks of text. I just look for the information that I need to know. I'm a scanner. And so this is finally where I understand where you're at. So that's taking me a little bit of work as a visitor, right? If I'm looking for information, I shouldn't have to look for it. It should be presented to me pretty clearly and pretty quickly. So I would definitely consider at least getting this information on your homepage as well. All right, just continuing on here. Let's see, you have a book now down here and it goes to anappointee.com. So let's click that. And what's going to happen there, because I've already clicked on this, is this actually takes me away from your Zenfolio account, which is totally fine. But as a visitor, I've lost your navigation. So what I would do, Ryan, is go back and clean that up to either make it open in a new tab, or I know that Appointee will actually give you an embed code and you can embed that into a custom page, because the last thing you want people doing is leaving your Zenfolio site and losing all of your navigation here. We want that to open in a new tab or to be embedded in a custom page. All right. One thing I'll say that you have done really well so far is that everything is staying pretty consistent as far as colors and fonts go. And so that's great. And your photos are beautiful. I just need to see this site get a little bit more organized and a little bit more intentional. And then some custom branding and stuff on here to really start setting this up and making it look nice. All right, let's hit that contact page really quick. I'm assuming this is probably going to be the built-in contact page, which is fine. And again, here is where I kind of finally really get the location. So not an area. This is where I actually get the true location. So 1, 2, 3 site menu items in. Basically finding that when I decide to reach out is finally when I get that true location information. All right, let's see what the client site menu goes to. So the client site menu went to the client gallery that was also, or the client group that was also in portfolio. So let's decide, is that a portfolio gallery or does it just need to be under clients? And go ahead and set that up. That's kind of confusing when it's in portfolio and you can get here. Book now, I'm assuming this is going to go to your appointee page, which it is. And again, like I said earlier, we are losing those Zenfolio links. See if you can't get that appointee embed code and embed that service into a custom page so that when they click on it, they still have your Zenfolio site header. They can get back to your portfolio, whatever they want to do. All right, let's check out your session inquiry forms. All right, and this is a Google form. So, hey, good ups on you for doing a Google form. I happen to love Google Forms. I do 100% know that you can get an embed code from this and embed this into a Zenfolio site. If you don't want to do that, though, go ahead and set this site menu item to open up in a new tab. So again, I don't lose this information here because I probably want to go back and look at stuff. And so go ahead and get that to set up to open in a new tab. Let's hit this pre-order and see what's going on here. Pre-order. Okay, so this is an actual pre-order. Go ahead and get your pre-order logo uploaded in here. That's under site settings, logos and icons, pre-order logo. It's in customized view. So that's one big thing that I feel is missing from your site is some custom logos and branding. Other than that, this looks like a great setup custom page. I'm sorry, not custom page, but pre-order. And the one thing about pre-order is that is the one Zenfolio section that I recommend having in an open in a new tab because we lose all of the Zenfolio navigation. So I would definitely recommend having this set up to open in a new tab. So hey, Ryan, I think you've done a great job at keeping your site consistent. The colors, the themes, the fonts, all of that stuff stays consistent across the entire website. The couple of things that I would again reiterate is let's be intentional about setting up that portfolio. Let's get this page set up to give your clients and your visitors clear paths of where you want them to go to and get them to the information in as least amount of clicks as possible. And then the other thing as well is just making sure that you're getting your custom logos, your branding, and all of that up there. And so if you design a custom logo, make sure that you're designing it with either these site colors in mind or that you use the site colors and incorporate them into your logo. Hopefully this was helpful, and thank you guys so much for watching that site review. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you click that subscribe button and hit the little bell icon so you get notified when we post videos and when we go live. Now, if you're interested in having your site reviewed, there's a link in the description below this video where you can submit your website for that. And in addition to getting a site review, you're also going to get a link where you can schedule a session with me. We're going to go over your website, go over the review. I'll answer any questions that you have and help you make any changes that you're interested in making. So the link to sign up for that is in the description below this video. Now, don't forget Zenfolio Live coming up this Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see you guys there. Until then, I hope you have a great week.